Hey guys, I'm going to show you how I'm converting my fuel rail covers on my recently purchased Corvette from this to this. I may be adding some decals after, but so far this has worked out pretty well. I just did this one today. So here's what I'm doing. I'm going to start by prepping the surface with 400 grit sandpaper. This is a 320 grit block. After I do that, I will sort of clean the surface off, just blow off all the dust, and then put a bit of alcohol onto a microfiber cloth to get all the particulate off. So after I do that, I actually contacted Duplicolor. They were very helpful, and I'm going to spray this adhesion promoter that just helps to prep the plastic surface so that the primer will adhere. You got to make sure that everything you're using is high heat temperature. This is right on top of the engine, so it'll say it right on all the cans. So I'm using this this primer by VHT. Then we go to this Duplicolor. You have to go with this ground coat to get the initial shine on the product. Then you can pick your color. Here's the color I've chosen for the fuel rail colors. There's various different colors, and then optional is this final gloss coat. I put 2 coats of that just as a just why not, but you can just go with that. So I'll go ahead and start prepping the surface by sanding it, just sort of lightly scratching it, and then degreasing it. It's real simple here. Just make sure you hit all the surfaces. Make sure that when you get it, you got some light scratches. Probably want to just get some small pieces and get inside the lettering. So just disturb the surface, get it nicely prepared. We'll go ahead and degrease these in a second, so I'll just go ahead and pause the video and come back when it's done. Okay, I've got all the surface scuffed up, so I'm just working off some clean cardboard on top of a pail. So what I'll do is I'll just take the isopropyl alcohol and putting it onto a lint-free cloth here, just putting some down and just hitting it. You'll see it'll evaporate very quickly. Do a section, gets a little bit dirty, sort of spraying the next clean part of the microfiber and hitting into the next section. So just do this. It'll evaporate quickly. Prior to this, I did just take my air compressor and just blew all the particulate off, so there's nothing on the surface. So just kind of keep going, moving this thing around and cleaning it up, getting ready for the next step. What am I going to do next is just sort of lift the product just sort of off the cardboard and the pail a little bit. This is what I used for the last one. Just lift it up so that when I'm spraying it, obviously I get absolutely under the edges. So what I'm going to do here is just hit it with the first part, and this is the adhesion promoter. So it's important that you, from applying this, that you start applying your primer within 5 to 10 minutes. That's a recommendation by Duplicolor. So we'll go ahead and hit this. You see, it's gonna look like it evaporates right away. So just some light strokes. But what it's doing it's actually attacking the surface a little bit and preparing for paint and or primer. So a good liberal coat. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes, and what we're going to do now is just hit it with this primer. You'll see that this is a gray primer. So go ahead and just going to give it 3 coats. So what you want to do is just make sure you sort of even brush marks. Don't put anything on too heavy. 8 to 10 inches apart or so. 8 to 10 inches from the surface. Come around the sides. You're going to do multiple passes, so don't worry if it looks a little spotty. You just want to build it slowly. So with these products, you literally have to get it all done in one shot. So each coat is only, you're waiting a maximum of 10 minutes between coats. Okay, so that's been about 10 minutes for the first coat. So I should mention, I also put some of these nitrile gloves on. After the sanding step, I changed them out to clean ones so I don't get any cross-contamination. So again, we're just going to hit that sort of beyond the part. Do this in a well-ventilated area. So I'm doing this in my front porch. Nothing too much. Hit it from all different angles, especially in the lettering, so you get deep inside the lettering. Okay, here comes coat number 2. Again, a couple of test shots on the cardboard. Nice even long strokes right across the surface. Sort of build it progressively. You see it's looking already nice and consistent. This can also be used on metal. So, but I did speak to the Duplicolor, and they did say that this was totally applicable for plastic parts. So hopefully all is well. I'm going to do that next coat just off camera, just a little easier. Okay, here we go after 3 coats of that ground coat. Now we're going to go with my color. I've picked this blue color. This is a tint color with a gloss, so it's going to look like it's barely going on, and just don't rush it, right? So test shot. Just an ever so subtle tint to it. So we're just going to slowly build this up. It even feels like it's lighter coming out of the can. Take your time. A couple of different angles. Make sure you get inside those letters, and this thing's really going to pop. Come back in 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to do the second coat, then the third coat sort of off camera, and then I'll show you when I'm done with this coat. I'll just show you my last coat here. See, it's going on a little more even. I'm just lightly building the layers. It's looking pretty awesome, I think. I'm losing daylight here. So I think what I'm going to do is just finish this. I'm probably going to put 2 coats of the clear coat on just because I have it. I don't think it hurts. It's a high heat enamel, so I only want to do this once. So there you have it. And what I'll do is, next step is going to be, I'm going to get this thing installed, and I'll load that video after I'm done that. Okay, so here we go. I've just installed the fuel rail covers. You'll see here, just to get it on and past the fuel injection supply, I've just sort of taped off with some tape so that I can sort of get it by and get the cover on, snapped in. I took the liberty of also painting a nice black in the midsection here. So I think that looks pretty good. So good luck with yours and painting your plastic parts.